Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Daredevil Season 1, Episode 1, Into the Ring, which is the pilot episode. So just want to say, I'm only reviewing the pilot episode for now. I'm not going to be reviewing this episode by episode, but I will have a season overview after I binge the whole season, which will be this week. So I will have a season review, but again, I had to make the decision if I wanted to review this episode by episode, and I decided I will review the first episode, but that's it, episode by episode. So, expectations for Daredevil. As a Marvel fan, as a comic book fan, I was excited for Daredevil. To have this new Netflix show, and then, of course, we're having more Netflix shows with Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, which I'm super excited about also. But Daredevil spearheading this, this Netflix Marvel partnership, I was excited and worried, because of course the whole movie thing, or mainstream audiences, do they still remember the movie? And also, once I saw the trailer, I was a little scared because it's so gritty, and I was like, I really like the Mark Waid version of Daredevil. That's what I got into the character with. I kind of relatively new to Daredevil, so I've read the lighter side of Daredevil, so do I want to see this darker side? And yeah, hell yeah I do, because I saw the pilot, and it worked so well, because the balance worked very well. The tone is very dark, because it's Hell's Kitchen, and this is very much about gangs, or what I think is going to lead up to is gang wars, and who's going to own what portion of Hell's Kitchen. And we got Kingpin, that's going to be the bigger villain that we don't really get to see in this pilot at all. I just think we're going to lead up to that, which we all know we're going to lead up to that. So it's a very gritty show. It's a very, even though it's about a superhero vigilante, it's very much realistic in a way. Very much, yeah, kind of a gang show, which is kind of cool to see. So getting to it, it's a dark show. It's dark. But what I liked about this pilot is that, yes, it's dark, but it had those lighter tones. It had the fun moments with Foggy. I think Foggy is definitely kind of a redeeming quality of this show, which of course it doesn't even need a redeeming quality because it's great. But Foggy adds an element to the show that I think it needs, and I think maybe Gotham falls into. I've only seen the pilot of Gotham, but kind of needing to reference something, or even Constantine, where it didn't have that light moment. It didn't have something to really bring kind of the regular viewer to hold on to the series. This is not too bogged down with darkness, which I liked about the pilot a lot, because that was, again, my fear of the trailers, like, oh, this show's going to be too dark, they're going to go way too much into that darker side Daredevil. And yes, Daredevil can be a very dark character, even though he's light as of right now in Marvel. So yeah, I really liked Foggy here. I think he adds a lot to the show, and there's just those like tiny moments between Matt and Foggy now lighten up the mood, and I hope we get to see that throughout the season. Karen as a character. Karen, I like her as a supporting character. In the beginning I was like, she killed somebody, what do I think? She's just gonna be a victim. And I don't know if she's going to be a strong female character. I hope she is. That's something I'm really hoping for the show. Because I hope towards the finale we'll get towards Elektra. I don't know. I don't think we're going to see Elektra this season. But I would really like to see them integrate Elektra. So just going back to it, I would like to see some strong female characters in the show. And I don't know if Karen's going to be that character, but she meshes well. She meshed well towards the end, and I hope we see her character grow throughout this season. And then, of course, Matt. Charlie Cox's Matt. I did not expect to love him so much, but I did. It's just that opening scene. We get to see the opening scene, the origin scene of Daredevil becoming, or Matt becoming, not Daredevil, but becoming blind. And we see that scene, and then he goes to the church and saying, I'm gonna commit crime. And the priest saying, that doesn't really, that's not really how, confession works. And he's like, well, I know. but I just want to tell you this. And I like those religious aspects, which you can see in the theme song. We're going to get a lot of religion, which is important to Daredevil's character that, you know, some runs don't end up doing, others do, and I would really like to see him concentrate more on that, and it seems like they will. And they had a good beginning to the Catholic allusions in this pilot. So I really like that opening scene of him just describing his sins and him and his relationship with his father. It was great. And yeah, Charlie Cox as Daredevil, really like it. Again, yes, it is gritty, but I think over time we'll see kind of the funner side of Matt, but I don't know if we'll see that this season, because he is a very dark character. Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about the pilot, I would say I would like to see more Daredevil, and also the way they used the radar sense. I felt like, I don't know if I'd want to see tricks for it, but I think if you're a comic book reader, you knew when they were using the radar sense, but if you're not a comic book reader, I feel like you'd be a little confused of, like, why does this blind guy have powers? I think that was my only gripe for the pilot, really, was that, hey, why does this blind guy have powers? Oh, I guess it has to do with those toxins, because not everyone knows Daredevil's origins, so that could have been explained a bit better. Also, maybe a little bit more Daredevil in the pilot, but I'm sure we'll see more Daredevil as the season goes on. And I don't know if I like the gang stuff yet. I think once we get Wilson Fisk into all of it, it's gonna get really interesting. But the hook wasn't so much there for the villains in this episode. But the main characters were really good, and obviously, including Foggy and Karen was pretty good too. And that's what's important for the pilot, for us to like the main character. And again, Charlie Cox really just hooks you from the beginning, from that first scene. And it stays true to the comics, truthfully. And what I want to lead this, and how to end this review, I just want to say, I applaud Marvel, because it's something different from Marvel. First of all, this is an MA show, so that's something. And it just shows that Marvel can be diverse, but not every show has to be dark. Not every show has to be light. Not every show has to be, you know, whatever. Everything that Marvel does, at least so far with the television stuff, is different. And even though I feel like Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had the same tone, this is a completely different tone, and I can't wait to see Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and the different tones there. I don't think they're all going to be dark like Daredevil, and that makes me happy, and to see Marvel making these creative choices to diversify not just their brand, but their characters, which is really important, and they did that with this pilot, and they're proving that. And they're proving that Marvel's, yeah, of course it's great for the movies to be all family friendly, but it's cool to see like a darker show, but not be like DC, where, and again, I love DC too, but DC with their movies now, it's like, oh, well, everything has to be dark. I think Marvel's like choosing what has to be dark and what doesn't, and Daredevil's that perfect character to be dark. So I had to mention that too. I thought that was perfectly well done in the pilot, and the tone of the show is well done. So yes, this was a bit of a longer episode review, and I will have a season review when I finish the show. Hopefully, you know, sooner than later. I will have it done this week, because next Thursday, so this Thursday, this coming Thursday, we are going to have a Media Madness for Daredevil at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to check that out. We're going to have a whole live show talking about Daredevil. So I'm going to have the season review and the Media Madness talking about Daredevil. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought about the episode, and are you excited to see more Daredevil? I know I am. So hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like me on Facebook. Also, in the description below, there's links for my comic book, Like Father Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.